Hey, this is a big day for me. I'm getting to open my second most expensive air gun that I purchased. As you all probably know, I keep to the lower end budget air rifles because this is just my extra spending money that I used to use for models and things like that. Now I use it for air rifles because I really enjoy doing this air rifle channel. I watched a couple of shows recently. It's really intrigued me with the Daisy Avanti. I went ahead and bought it, and here it is in the box it came. This may be the original box. I have no idea what's inside, so let's go ahead and open it. Yep, this is the box. Here's the... Whoa. I'm glad I didn't cut that box all up. Okay, I've got it out of the cardboard. Yeah, it feels as good as these guys made it sound. It's got a nice feel to it. Here it is. Well, I've had a chance to look at the owner's sheet. This is a competition rifle. It is high precision based on the fact that it's got a Lothar Walther high grade steel barrel. It weighs almost double the Daisy 880, which I happen to have right here with me so we can kind of compare and contrast. The 880 and the 753 are about the same size, although this is, like I said, considerably heavier and it's much sturdier. Of course, you're paying for it too. The chambers are going to look the same kind of bolt, same kind of lever. The difference is with an 880, you pump it 10 times to get the pellet up to mid 600s. This one you pump one time and one time only, but it's still a pneumatic gun. It's not a Springer. So you pump one time, and it's got quite a bit of resistance on that first one. It's supposed to be able to get it up to 495. Some of the guys said it actually gets higher than that. The owner sheet says do not pump this more than once. You will hurt. It's got a bigger tube, so that's probably why you get one pump, but it's got a lot more air that is compressing in that one pump. Oh, one other thing about the owner sheet before I fill it up. Most of the Daisy owner sheets anymore don't have the schematic drawings. This one does. That's a good thing. This is probably the sight in here, probably both sights actually. Yeah, there's a rear sight. And that must be the front sight and all the apertures. It's got a dovetail here. So for that, you use this diopter sight. This is your basic part of it. This is for your elevation, and this is for your windage. This slides on the dovetail, like so. So I will slide it on there, and then you can just tighten it down. This is your peephole sight with the little shroud so you can look through it. And it will screw right on here, like that. And now you won't have all that light, so that'll be pretty handy. You're going to be looking just through one little bitty tiny hole and with this shroud, and that's a nice feature. Here's your front sight, and it will clamp down on here. It'll slide on just like the dovetail. It'll slide on here. It's got these replaceable apertures, which if you look here, that's what the front sight looks through. There's several of these other apertures that came with it, and you could replace those if you don't like the one that's in there. There's also attachments for a sling. That would be in the competition shootings. I didn't even know there was such a thing as 10-meter competition until recently. And did you know that, I mean, just if you're like me and didn't know this stuff, they actually have an event in the Olympics for 10-meter air rifles. Now, this is meant for competition at the 10-meter targets, which I happen to buy some from Daisy, and that's what I'm going to work with so that I can become a better shooter, primarily the standing position, because I depend on my stick and the bench and things like that. Right now, I'm going to work on the 10-meter. I just got through firing 40 pellets for speed tests, so we got the results. Here are the results. First up, Meister Coogan. The Meister Coogan had 8.2 grains, had an average speed of 463 feet per second. Pretty consistent readings all the way through. Next up is the Barracuda Match. It's not a wad cutter. Weight, it's a little heavier. It's 10.65 grains. The H&N Barracuda Match had an average speed of 406 feet per second. Excite Hammer, which you've seen in quite a few of my videos, both 22 caliber and 177. It has a weight of 7.87 grains. And the H&N Excite Hammer had an average speed of 474 feet per second. A little more deviation. All three of them came out at 3.9 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. With the trigger pull gauge, very consistent readings, 3.1 pounds of trigger pull, so that's pretty good. The fourth pellet is the Daisy lead-free wad cutter. Deviations were really bad. Some pellets would fit very tight and some pellets were loose. The average speed was 555, so yeah, it got above 500. But the problem is, look here, you got the ones that fit tight versus here's one that was loose, 591, so that's a deviation 70 feet per second almost. I chose not to even put it on here. I have ordered the Daisy 577 pellets, so we'll wait for these to come and then we'll put that in here. I got my foot on the 10-meter line, and out there is the 10-meter target. It's exactly 33 feet, and I just got through shooting my first 10-meter, but that is sitting with the stick. Got one in here. This gun is really accurate, so I've got it zeroed pretty much. Now I'm going to try standing, and that's a totally different ball game. The reason I'm showing this is I learned something from this. I didn't like it pointing down like that because it basically points to where I shoot inside. I tried to adjust it here to where it would go straight, right? But watch this. That tells me is right there where that meets. And so I'm using that as like the hold point for my left hand. There's the results of the first time that I shot unsupported in the 10-meter air rifle using the official 10-meter air rifle target, which I think is an international target because I measured this center target, this center bull ring here, and it's exactly 30 millimeters. That would indicate more of an international target, but that's a pretty small area there. Of course, that was the first try, and there's lots of room for improvement. This is so much fun. I just kept shooting in the dark with flashlights. So I practiced working on just getting used to shooting, getting it a little more focused, but I will continue to march here. This is only the first film I'm doing on this gun, but I'm just breaking it in. I think I'm going to try 10. I have a lot of shooting to do with this gun, both off video and on video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please press the like button and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thank you.